What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. In night 3, part 3, deluxe edition of WrestleMania, or I guess you could call it WrestleMania Backlash, it's over, and honestly, it over-delivered. It was an enjoyable pay-per-view from start to finish, with some unexpected shockers. Some of these matches ended up being way better than what a lot of us thought, and the talent came out and definitely gave it their all. So right now, you guys already know we're gonna go ahead and round up everything that went down at WrestleMania Backlash 2021 pay-per-view. Before we get into it though, make sure that you guys have those notifications if you want to continue being up to date on all the latest wrestling news. And if you want even more wrestling content, consider subscribing to this and our second channel. Getting right into it and giving you guys my general thoughts on it, as I just mentioned, Backlash was actually a pretty good pay-per-view, and that was because of the good wrestling that it has. And I mentioned this multiple times before during our pay-per-views review, especially when WWE over-delivers, and that is that when the match card is a small one, when they have only 5 to 6 or maybe 7 matches on the match card instead of having 9 or 10, these pay-per-views usually turn out to be better because every single match gets a bit more time, a bit more wrestling, and a bit more storyline going all throughout, making the show just flow better from one match to the next. Now tonight wasn't perfect. Some of our favorites didn't end up winning, but WWE gave us a lot of good finishes, a lot of finishes that make sense and build up storyline into next pay-per-views, so credit where it's due. But at the same time though, there were some superstars that were on the bad end of things, so we obviously gotta talk about all of that. In the main event, we got the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns taking on Cesaro in a match where Roman Reigns retained and of course continues to be dominant, but man, Cesaro took him to the limit. And we will go into details for that main event, but let's go ahead and rewind it back. On the kickoff show, we finally had Sheamus actually doing an open challenge, and he defeated Ricochet. Small detail here, Ricochet actually came out in pants, which is a good thing because that means that he wasn't ready to accept Sheamus' surprise open challenge, so I appreciate WWE doing that. He was still taped up and everything though, so I mean, he was kind of ready. And then to kick off the main card, I think this was probably the first shocker of the night for me, and that was that we actually got a really good triple threat match for the Raw Women's Championship. Why was this a shocker to me? Well, primarily because as of late, the Rhea Ripley and Asuka storyline has been garbage, pretty much like a lot of the storylines that goes down on Monday Night Raw, but also because the chemistry for Rhea Ripley and Asuka in their matches hasn't been that great as of late. Finally, it feels like they're coming together. So tonight, of course, with the addition of Charlotte in it, it turned out to be a good match. This was a heck of an opener. Honestly, I thought it was going to be the match of the night, but as we got to see, each superstar that came out there just continued to give it their best. I like that Rhea Ripley retained the title, but the big complaint that I have in this match is that WWE continues to protect Charlotte Flair at all costs, and this time it obviously came at the expense of Asuka. It almost feels like Asuka was simply in this match to take the pinfall. As enjoyable as the match was, and yes, it was a shocker that the match was good, but the finish, it just ended up being too predictable. Usually the second match in a pay-per-view card is not the best one, but tonight we got a heck of a tag team match. Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode versus Rey Mysterio and Dominik. Rey Mysterio, of course, with that classic Batman attire, and Dominik with another classic Robin attire, so they were kind of matching it up right there. They of course picked up the victory, but this was an awesome match. I love how WWE ended up building towards that big hot tag. During the kickoff show, Dominik Mysterio was attacked in the backstage, so Rey Mysterio had to come out there and do a handicap match for a solid 15 minutes or so, and then finally an injured Dominik made his way into the ring, and they built up towards that massive tag that paid off in the end, and then finally we got brand new champions, the only title that ended up changing hands. And honestly, this is contender to be match of the night. I just love the fact that WWE finally let the tag team division go out there and give us some of the best wrestling for the night. By the end of it, I felt like Rey Mysterio and Dominik could really be that team that finally put some extra importance in the tag team division. Hopefully that is the case because I want to care about the tag team division more. And the reason why a lot of of us don't, it's because WWE continued to book it basically the worst that they can. The next matchup, we got the Lumberjack Zombies match, because WWE was heavily promoting the upcoming Snyder Army of the Dead movie, of course starring Batista, who by the way was in the opening package promo of the pay-per-view, and it was an awesome one. But about this match though, so the Zombies were the Lumberjack in this one. At least they knew the rule not to get inside the ring, and it was a good presentation, but unfortunately this was the worst match of the night, or one of the two worst matches of the night, and a lot of it has to do because of the commentary team. There was too much exaggeration, and honestly the only thing that made this match a little bit fun was John Morrison getting dragged down by the Zombies. In the end, Damian Priest picked up the victory. Of course he did. We then got Bianca Belair defeating Bayley. This was an okay match. Honestly, WWE's booking for this match has been poor. Their whole storyline has been lackluster. As much as I love both of these performers, this was basically the match that I was least excited to see. But we did have some good build up all throughout. So basically we had Bayley trying to cheat like 3 times and trying to defeat Bianca by cheating. But in the end, it did not work out because Bianca was the one to pick up the victory by giving Bayley a bit of her own medicine and holding her down with her hair, going for the pinfall. Now you talk about a shocker, and that is the next matchup. This WWE Championship Triple Threat match surprised the hell out of me. I was not expecting this match to be good. I was expecting this match to last 5 minutes with a couple of spots here and there, but no, they went all out. This was a 205 Triple Threat match, not for the WWE Championship, it was for the Cruiserweight Championship, because we had Drew McIntyre flying off the top rope, Braun Strowman doing senton bombs, Bobby Lashley getting sent through the LED screen by the stage, and so on. We had some pretty cool spots, some high-flying spots, a lot of running up in here. It was fast-paced, again, which is the biggest shocker to me. I have never seen Braun Strowman run this much, ever. This man was sweating all throughout 2 minutes into the match. They really went back and forth. This was a good triple threat match, and usually these 3-way matches don't go that well. In the end, Bobby Lashley stole the victory from Drew McIntyre as Drew McIntyre goes for the Claymore kick on Braun Strowman, gets ready to go for the pinfall, but here comes Bobby, sends him to the outside, goes for the spear on Braun, and then pins him for the 1-2-3. It looks like a Hell in a Cell, which by the way, it's the next pay-per-view that we're going to be getting, because it looks like they're going to be saving Money in the Bank for July when the live audience is back. But yes, Hell in a Cell next month, it looks like we're going to be getting Drew versus Bobby Lashley once again. And last but not least, it is a main event time. Another solid match here tonight. Roman Reigns defeating Cesaro. A lot of near falls on this one. The big storytelling was Roman Reigns trying to take out Cesaro's arm and shoulders so that he could stop doing the uppercut. Roman Reigns continued to be a great heel, talking during the matches, even mocking Daniel Bryan. Good back and forth, a couple of reversals. In the end, Cesaro goes for the springboard to of course turn around and hit that massive uppercut for the victory, but Roman Reigns catches him with the Superman punch. Cesaro still kicks out, but then to end it off, Roman goes up for the guillotine submission, and Cesaro doesn't submit. Instead, he gets put to sleep. One cool detail, and I appreciate WWE doing this, is that once the bell rang and once Roman Reigns was celebrating, Cesaro kind of woke up and he asking the referee what happened, and that no, he didn't give up. That made Cesaro look good even in defeat. We then got a couple of extra shockers. So here comes Jey Uso. He takes out what remains of Cesaro, again proving to Roman Reigns that he's still on his side, unlike Jimmy, who didn't want to join Roman earlier on in a backstage segment. Jimmy versus Roman Reigns, a Hell in a Cell, much like what happened last year with his brother. Very possible. After the attack on Cesaro, things wasn't over just yet. We get Seth Rollins coming out. Seth Rollins gets in the face of Roman Reigns. Everybody loses their mind, even me. But of course, he is not here to help out Cesaro. Instead, he pops up that evil laugh, laughs it out with Roman Reigns, and then go on and attack Cesaro, telling him that he is not done with him just yet. So probably Seth Rollins versus Cesaro, a Hell in a Cell, going down as well. And then probably Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns continues to get built up for SummerSlam, because that really feels like it's gonna happen. But that is way down the the line. In the meantime, Seth Rollins is still the heel Seth Rollins. So that is what went down at WrestleMania Backlash pay-per-view. Let me know down in the comments below which one was your favorite match of the night. And of course, to continue being up to date on all pro wrestling, make sure to turn on those notifications and subscribe to the channel. And if you enjoy this, make sure to 619 that like button. I'll catch you on the next one, so stay savage.